In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. A time will come when peace, great abundance, and tranquility will prevail all over the world. All hidden treasures will be brought to the surface and distributed to all those in need. It will be a period where there are no poor people, and Islam dominates the entire world. People will live equally and happily. However, this period will not last very long, because an extraordinary danger awaiting the whole world beneath the earth is counting down to emerge with each passing day, and that great day is gradually approaching. I am talking about the communities of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, one of the major signs of the Day of Judgment. Where are they now? Could the location researchers have found truly belong to Yajuj and Majuj? And what about the other creature to emerge from the earth, Dabat al-Ard, the beast of the earth? We are living in an era where one of the greatest rulers in world history is alive, Hazrat Dhul-Qarnayn, peace be upon him. He is one of the 4 individuals who have ever dominated the entire world, making a name for himself with his journeys from the east to the west, from the north to the south of the planet. He undertook such travels on this earth that one is left in astonishment upon hearing some of them. I explain all the details in my video about Hazrat Dhul-Qarnayn. But among these journeys, there is one that is also mentioned in our holy book, the Quran. The extraordinary circumstances he experienced during that journey perhaps constitute one of the reasons why we humans today can live and reach places as we wish. So, what happened during that trip? While Hazrat Dhul-Qarnayn, upon him be peace, was traveling, thought to be in a region corresponding to present-day Kyrgyzstan geography, he was crossing mountains, plains, seas, towns, and encountering different human communities and various beings. It was during this time, perhaps on one of his most important journeys, that he was continuing his path between 2 mountains. There he encountered an interesting community. However, these people had a great trouble. They spoke of a savage community living in the mountains that constantly disturbed them, caused corruption, and posed a great danger to them, and they asked for his help. The name of this corrupting community is Yajuj and Majuj. We come across them in Surah Al-Kahf of the Holy Quran. From the Hadiths, we understand that this community called Yajuj and Majuj are beings descended from human lineage just like us, but some physical characteristics make them somewhat different. Yajuj and Majuj appeared as a community in the period after the Great Flood event, when human and animal life on earth began to reshape again. We know they are descended from Hazrat Noah's, upon him be peace, son, Japheth. Some, due to these and other characteristics, even say they could be the Chinese. I will address later why they cannot be the Chinese or any other existing nation. This developed community consists of 3 different parts. One part is tall compared to others, one part is of medium height, and another part, this is a bit interesting, their ears are so large that they can even use them as pillows. Knowing that they will destroy people when they emerge before the Day of Judgment, we understand they are quite savage beings. Considering their flat faces, small eyes, and the geography where Dhul-Qarnayn's wall is thought to have been built, another thought that comes to mind is that they might be connected to the Mongols. I will give very striking information about them later, but first, let's look at how the people who asked Dhul-Qarnayn for help were saved from Yajuj and Majuj. "O Dhul-Qarnayn," they said, "please help us. Yajuj and Majuj are causing corruption in the land. Erect a barrier between us and them. We will pay you tribute." Yajuj and Majuj are a corrupting, disbelieving community that causes and will cause great corruption on earth. Hazrat Dhul-Qarnayn, upon him be peace, seeing this, agreed to support this people seeking help without expecting anything in return. "You do not have to pay me anything. The wealth you could give me is nothing compared to what my Lord has bestowed upon me. My only request is that you assist me with manpower so I can build a strong barrier to block their passage. Bring me as many iron blocks as you can find." And all the people came together and brought as many iron blocks as they could find. Dhul-Qarnayn filled the space between the two mountains with all this iron, making it level with the mountaintops. Afterwards, he requested molten copper. "Bring it so we can pour it over the iron barrier." Then he said, "Now blow with bellows." The barrier was now ready. Between these people and the Yajuj and Majuj communities, an impenetrable, unbreakable barrier had been created by the permission of Allah, the Almighty. Dhul-Qarnayn said, "This is a mercy from my Lord." Yes, a wall that cannot be opened until the day of judgment was built between us and the savage, corrupting Yajuj and Majuj communities. So, was this the end for Yajuj and Majuj? Of course not. They continue to multiply in the place they are confined. Moreover, I'm talking about such multiplication that this part is truly interesting. Not a single person from the Yajuj and Majuj community dies without leaving behind at least 1,000 children unborn. If you calculate that each person has brought 1,000 children into the world from that time until today, can you see the magnitude of the danger we are facing? But how can a person bring 1,000 children into the world? Let's delve a little deeper for the answers to this question. We reach a surprising piece of information when we ask, how many children can a woman give birth to at most? In Russia, the wife of a peasant named Fyodor Vasilyev gave birth to a total of 69 children in her lifetime. Knowing that a modern human finds 69 children unbelievable helps us grasp the situation among the Yajuj and Majuj communities. Of course, Allah knows best, but according to narrations that have reached us, we know that many individuals, including Prophet Noah, upon him be peace, lived lives between 900 and 1,000 years. Lifespans have shortened over time until today. At this point, if the Yajuj and Majuj communities are also such long-lived beings, and if their lives are based on continuous reproduction as mentioned, it seems plausible for each to leave behind 1,000 children. The Yajuj and Majuj communities, whose numbers are many times greater than the current human population, continue to dig every day to reach the surface. So what will happen that will allow Yajuj and Majuj, who will destroy a large part of the human population, to succeed in getting out of their place? Before that, let's discuss, with today's possibilities, where the barrier built by Hazrat Dhul-Qarnayn, upon him be peace, might be. Considering the hadiths and narrations that have reached us about where this event that took place thousands of years ago occurred, it has been suggested that this place you see on the Uzbekistan border could be the barrier of Dhul-Qarnayn. Of course, this is just a theory. Structurally resembling a straight wall built between two mountains, covered with snow, the possibility of this place being where Yajuj and Majuj are confined was discussed worldwide for a period. Many studies were carried out around it. Rumors that iron alloys and various instruments found in the surroundings led to the conclusion that there were large voids behind the wall, caused this place to become famous as the barrier of Dhul-Qarnayn. Allah knows best. Even if we could truly find Dhul-Qarnayn's barrier today, no human power would succeed in opening it before its appointed time. So how important is it to know where the barrier is? I leave this question to you. Also, for those who argue that Yajuj and Majuj are the Chinese or any nation currently living in the world, the Hadiths already provide answers on this matter. First, we know they dig the earth every day. In such a case, which nation could we attribute this to? Regarding the possibility that Yajuj and Majuj are the Chinese, or even that Dhul-Qarnayn's barrier is the Great Wall of China, we know that when Yajuj and Majuj break out, they will pour forth from every height to attack the whole world. The Chinese, who are already all over the world, are not opening the Great Wall anyway, so these views are not very sound. Yes, now let's come to the dark day when everything will happen, i.e. the time when the barrier will come down. At the very beginning of the video, I mentioned that in the period when Yajuj and Majuj will emerge, a great abundance and peace will prevail in the world. Yes, we are in a future period whose time only Allah knows. but we will have already experienced a series of major events foretold to us. Such events will have occurred. The expected Great World War, Al-Malhama al-Kubra, will have happened. Allah will have sent Prophet Jesus, upon him be peace, back to earth. Al-Mahdi will have appeared. The greatest tribulation humanity will face, Al-Dajjal, the false Messiah, will have emerged, stirred up the entire planet, set people against each other, and then been killed. It is after this period that the world will enter a wonderful era of healing, where people find peace. There is no poverty. Treasures will be brought to the surface to such an extent that there won't even be people left to distribute them to, and resources will be abundant for everyone. Humanity. But the finale of this peaceful period, which will continue for a certain time, will occur with an unprecedented savagery. The permission day has come for the Yajuj and Majuj communities, who have been digging tirelessly for thousands of years without getting weary, every day to reach the surface, and whose numbers reach billions. And on that day, Yajuj and Majuj, who until then would stop digging at the end of each day saying, "That's enough for today, will continue from where we left off tomorrow," but return the next day as if they had never left, will this time succeed in opening a hole to the surface. So, what will happen that the hole that couldn't be opened for thousands of years can be opened that day? The secret lies in a word that had never left their mouths until that day. As usual, when they stop digging one day, this time one of them will close the day with these words: "That's enough for today. Tomorrow, inshallah, if Allah wills, we will continue from where we left off." Yes, their word, inshallah, will be the key to their reaching the surface. As you know, the Yajuj and Majuj communities are a disbelieving nation. In a narration, before our prophets, peace and blessings be upon him, ascension, Miraj, he was shown some realms, encountered Yajuj and Majuj, invited them to Islam, but they absolutely did not believe. Somehow on that destined day, the word Insha'Allah will leave their mouths. That great day has arrived. The barrier of Dhul-Qarnayn has been breached. The Yajuj and Majuj communities begin to spread over the world from every height, destroying those they encounter. They drink up every water source they find. They will cause the death of so many people that very few will remain on earth. Those who remain will be those who manage to hide from Yajuj and Majuj, those who could conceal themselves in strongholds and shelters. The Yajuj and Majuj communities, who destroy and plunder everything from east to west, north to south, will, when they see not a single person left around, think they have killed everyone and declare their superiority. They will boast, "We destroyed the whole world. No one could stand before our power." But there is something they do not know. The fact that people who managed to survive and Prophet Jesus, upon him be peace, are still on earth. The remaining people cry out for help to Hazrat Jesus, upon him be peace. Hazrat Jesus prays to Allah, the Almighty, asking for the destruction of Yajuj and Majuj. Thereupon, Allah sends a disease upon the Yajuj and Majuj communities who have invaded the whole world. This is something like a worm or bacteria. And the Yajuj and Majuj communities, who saw themselves superior to everything, with this disease sent by Allah, all lose their lives in a single night, in heaps where they stand, like the mass death of locusts. The earth faces such a scene that it is even difficult to breathe due to the stench of Yajuj and Majuj. Upon this, Hazrat Jesus, upon him be peace, prays to Allah once again, and Allah sends a great rain upon the earth. These rainwaters wash away the corpses and stench of Yajuj and Majuj. Of course, they will only be removed from the earth because their place in hell has long been prepared. They are in the layer containing the Gaia well, where the skins, pus, and vomit of those burning in hell flow and accumulate. After Yajuj and Majuj are erased from the earth, the surviving people will emerge from their hiding places and begin to cling to life again. So why couldn't anyone use their power against Yajuj and Majuj? With such technology, war machines, weapons we have, how could beings of flesh and bone cause such destruction? Of course, Allah knows best, but according to narrations, it is likely that this future period we are talking about coincides with a time when technological devices do not work, and perhaps even electricity does not exist. While we're on the subject, I'd like to remind you of a famous saying by the scientist Albert Einstein. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Because with the emergence of Yajuj and Majuj, many of the major signs of the Day of Judgment have already occurred. Not much time remains. Another awaited sign is about to happen. It is another creature believed to emerge from the earth, Dabat al-Ard, the beast of the earth. When Dabat al-Ard is mentioned, many people think of a creature that will emerge from the earth on the Day of Judgment and harm people. However, contrary to popular belief, it is not such a creature. Dabat al-Ard means a creature that moves/crawls on the earth. According to narrations, while people are performing tawaf, circumambulation, around the Kaaba, a crack will open on the nearby hill of Safa, and Dabat al-Ard will emerge from this crack. Dabat al-Ard will not be in human form. It will be more of an animal-like creature, but it will be able to speak just like humans. Its purpose will be to mark everyone, one by one. It will possess the ability to move with extraordinary speed. No one will be able to match Dabat al-Ard's speed. Therefore, no one will be able to escape from it. Dabat al-Ard will emerge carrying the seal of Prophet Solomon, upon him be peace, and the staff of Prophet Moses, upon him be peace. First, it will speak to all people, warning the disbelievers. In the Holy Quran, it is stated, "And when the word is fulfilled against them, we will bring forth for them a creature from the earth speaking to them, saying that mankind had of our verses no certainty." Chapter 27, verse 82. Afterwards, Dabat al-Ard will illuminate the faces of believing people with the staff in its hand. With the seal of Solomon, upon him be peace, it will mark the disbelievers between their eyes. Thus, whoever looks at a person's face will easily understand whether they are a disbeliever or a believer. The event of the sun rising from the west and the emergence of Dabat al-Ard will occur in quick succession. That is, time will have become very short. We will meet in the next video. Everything, God willing. Did you subscribe?